Hello, everybody. My name is Dimar Rodenko. I'm the founder of SaaS Founders Community, and I'm helping founders of software development companies to create a consistent flow of sales opportunities. And today I would like to talk about military tech in Ukraine, because military tech is a growing sector here, and Ukraine is becoming a player in the global defense technology market. As you know, here in Ukraine, we have a huge war, and there are, let's say, geopolitical events and increased defense spending here that stimulates the founders of Ukrainian and other companies to invest a lot in military tech. First, we need it to protect our country, and we need it to protect ourselves. It's number one. From the other point, it is a highly growing sector with a huge demand, and not too much offers on this market. So let's discover how it works and how we can, let's say, solve all the things, become a country more stable and let's say, help increase the ability to protect the country, and to, let's say, to create a good, economically sustainable and efficient project. First, as you know, the situation in Ukraine, which emerged after the full-scale Russian aggression, has forced many countries to increase their defense budgets. For example, Germany has already allocated more than 100 billion euros to increase security until 2024. Lithuania also plans to increase the share of its defense budget to 2.5% of GDP by 2030. And European countries are becoming increasingly interested in the use of artificial intelligence and modern technologies in military structure. The same situation is in Ukraine, because all our budget is now concentrated on 2 points. One point is defense tech, military, and another point is like social, or say the recovery of the social needs of the budget. So now we are fully concentrated on this stuff, and I think that it will this trend will keep on going. So let's look at the trends on the powers and the trends. The volume of the military tech is growing every year. Officially, there are more than 100 projects that have received funding from the government and private investors. Actually, the number of the projects is much higher. The official number of funding reached more than $50 million. I think that really it's much more, because the projects that previously required from 1 to 2 years for implementation are now implemented in 2 to 3 months. And you know, since 2014, the military tech, let's say, increased from 3 to 7 times, depending on the military tech sector. And these trends demonstrate that Ukraine is gonna be a new military tech tiger, like in Israel, and become competing with Israel even now. So what do we see here? Well, due to the situation that Israel, which was surrounded and are now surrounded by the enemies, and regularly attacked with a different type of, let's say, weapons and the methods, Israel is in a very actual position to, let's say, to develop military tech. And Israel has long been known for its defense doctrine, based on the principle of active defense and deterrence. And it's vital, it's obvious, because otherwise you cannot protect your small country from the huge crowds of people, even with the outdated weapon, but with huge amounts. So the response should be asynchronic. So it should be asymmetric, I would say, asymmetric, because even if you give the same amount of weapon to the same amount of people with the same amount of quality, you will lose. So that's why, if you cannot increase the number of resources, if you can't increase the number of people, you should increase the quality, right? So that's why the Israeli army highly values modern technology, including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, in innovative development. Compared to Ukraine, Israel has a more developed military tech ecosystem and a large amount of investment in that sector. Never mind, Ukrainian founders can learn from the Israeli experience and use it as an example to improve their military tech developments. So I see a huge opportunity here for the founders of IT, software, and hardware development companies, because this industry has a great potential. Because military tech startups, they require high expertise in development, especially in cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and other innovative technologies. And we see a huge demand from the Ukrainian country as a, let's say, as a budget. It's number one. Another one from the volunteers who are providing let's say, the military forces with the different spare parts or with the different technologies that are required on the military field, and by the military people and their, let's say, and the troops themselves who crowdfund, let's say, different things, even simple things like vehicles, like radio, etc., and including the, let's say, the military tech stuff, like different types of flying, let's say, things like non-piloted things, like different tools to attack and to find and attack enemies on the field, right? So that's why I see that there are a huge amount of opportunities here, because we have huge demand. There is not enough supply. It's much lower than it is demanded, and it is not covered by the government. It is not covered by the governmental enterprises and governmental services. So that's why there is huge opportunities for private capital and for the private investors to enter and to fulfill these opportunities. Thus, we can, let's say, protect the country and create a good opportunity to invest in a growing sector of economy that has a huge export potential. That's what we love, and that's what we're working on right now. So what I see here, that, for example, for 6 years ago, I was one of the organizers of the international forum among Ukrainian and Arabian countries. And our task was to invite at least several billionaires with, let's say, with Arabic origin, and these people, and we use LinkedIn to invite these people to come here, to come in Kiev, and to take part in this event. And after the event, I talked to these people and I asked them what are their businesses, let's say, what are they looking for, and what are their, let's say, the industries they are working on now, their interests now. And all of them, the different people from the different sectors, and they say they have, I would say, multiple businesses in their family, operated by their families. And for example, there is usually from 3 to 7 businesses, in average it can be 5. And they say, yeah, we are providing for number one, we are providing, let's say, spare parts for the oil industry. It's okay. Now, the second business can be something in the retail. The third sector can be some business in service businesses. And the fourth is a supply of military tech products to the army. For example, it can be spare parts for the heavy trucks. I said, okay, that's nice. Okay. And they came to another person and asked the same questions. And this person replied me, yes, we are, let's say, we have interests in oil sector, we have interests in retail, another family, another person. And we are also, let's say, supplying to the military, the radio stations on a regular basis for more than 20 years. Well, I was shocked because, yeah, a lot of businesses, that's good. And at least one of them is concentrated on the militech. And the same situation were among other people. So they have their assets widespread. For the oil, it's clear because they're producing a lot of oil. For the retail, okay, it's understood because people need to eat or something. But for the military tech at that time, for me, it was, let's say, not obvious. And I was, let's say, it was wow for me. And I understood that now we are moving to the same direction because the political situation here requires us first to, let's say, to do everything to protect our country. It's number one. And the second one, to create a sustainable business, even in the situation which is not, let's say, stable, right? So, and this sustainability is covered by the huge demand from the country, from the volunteers, from the military people themselves, from one side, and from another, there is not enough supply here. That's why a lot of private companies, they're, let's say, working on different MilTech startups that helps the country to, let's say, to be more stable, that helps to protect the country itself, and creating a huge potential, because these technologies can be adopted everywhere else in the world. For example, in other countries where have the, let's say, which are in a situation of the political conflicts with their neighbors, or even other fields like, let's say, like drones. They can be used in agro, they can be used in different stuff, whatever. So what we see here, the military tech in Ukraine has got a huge potential, and it's developing with a high speed. It's accelerating from 3 to 7 times. The number of investments is constantly rising. It's private, let's say, money that goes inside the private military tech, and it's hugely, it has huge demand from the country, from the volunteers, and from the military people themselves. So that's why I urge you to look at the opportunities to help Ukraine and to help our country, and to invest in the military tech startups that can be a good opportunity to protect the country and a good opportunity to grow your business and to, let's say, to get the great return using these technologies and using these startups. So I would like you to have a good big contracts, and subscribe to our social networks like here on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn, and welcome to, let's say, our channels, and hope to see you soon. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.